There's a ball of garden twine that lives out by the back door here, the IPS HQ. And somewhere along the line, Pippi, who I mentioned last week, she's the youngest of our four cats and the one with the most notions, honestly. She decided it was hers. Now, she's a little tabby with long white socks, and any time that twine works its way loose off the mat where she likes to lounge, I swear to God she'll have it halfway across the kitchen in a tangle. Delighted with herself, only delighted. Now, I was undoing the latest of her efforts the other evening, working a knot loose with my thumbnail, and it struck me that I was doing a very old Irish thing without really thinking about it at all, because the knot, the tying and the loosening of it, is one of the oldest tools in the witchcraft folk practice here. Now, when people think of knot magic, they often think of tying something up, of binding it, holding it fast. And that's certainly part of the Irish practice and the record here. But the tradition is just as interested in the other motion, the loosening, the drawing free. And that's the side I want to give you today. Now, I've often wondered, is this connected to the part of the meeting of the couple at the ford, where the Morrigan and the Dagda have their pre-arranged pre-Samhain meeting at the ford of Unshin? And part of the Morrigan's process there is untying her hair, unbraiding her 9 plaits. I don't think that's not connected, but I can't tell you 100% sure it is connected, right? Anyway, it's part of the tradition because we can look at Lady Wilde, who was Oscar Wilde's mother, by the way, a folklorist in her own right. She was writing back in the 1880s, and she recorded a cure that she calls the SNY-uh-nuh PAYSHT, the worm's knot. And the way of it was this, right? So when a cow took sick with what they called the worm or the péist, a long string was twisted up into a knot so tight, so cunning, that it looked like it could never come undone. It was the very picture of the trouble that had taken hold of the animal. Then someone who knew how it was done would draw the 2 ends, and the whole coil would fall free, the string clean and loose in their hands, and they'd do that 3 times over while a prayer was being said above the cow. The sickness was the knot, and the cure was the loosening of it in the practice. You can see the same logic all through the Irish charm tradition. Threads tied around a sore limb with the knots set over them, and threads that were meant to fall away of themselves once the cure had taken hold. They were supposed to rot away and be gone. The thread carried the trouble, and then the thread let it go. So, in this tradition, a knot isn't only a way of holding something tight, binding something. It's a way of taking something that's bound up in you, naming it, putting it into a thing that you can hold in your 2 hands, and then deciding, very deliberately, to let it loose. Now that's a different piece of work entirely from binding. Well, it's the other end of the string, you might say, right? But it's every bit as Irish as the binding is, right? To do this yourself, you would just take a length of string or thread, anything that you've got, natural fibres if possible, but if not, just go for it, right? Get a good arm's length of it and sit down somewhere quiet for a minute. Then bring to mind the one thing that you're holding too tight, that single knot of worry or anger or waiting and held breath that you would be glad to be free of. And now, don't take the whole tangled lot of your life and all the stresses. Just do one strand of it. Keep these practices simple. Focus on one thing, right? Now you would tie a knot in the middle of your string, and as you pull it tight, you'd name that thing out loud if you can manage it, but in your head if you have to, and say what it is that you've got bound up in there, right? And then you hold the knotted string in your 2 hands for a moment, for a minute, for whatever you want, and feel the tightness of it. And then slowly you would work the knot loose. Take your time over it, draw it free, and as the string comes loose and straight in your hands, Just say plainly that you're letting this go the way the knot is let go. Do that part 3 times if the knot will let you. You tie it, you loosen it, you tie it, you loosen it, you tie it, you loosen it 3 times over. And then Beir Bua. When you're done, you can throw the string out, burn it if that's easy and safe to do, with no fuss at all. Don't be worrying too much about where it goes after, right? But just one word on this before you go. The loosening is your own to do, on your own trouble. Tying a knot to bind another person, to hold someone fast against their will, is a whole different road altogether. And it carries its own weight in this tradition, right up to the death in some of the folklore. Keep this one to your own bound places and leave other people out of it, please. So if you'd like a grounded Irish practice like this one coming to you every month, with the source and the story behind it, that's exactly what Simple Irish Spells is for. It's my newsletter over on the Irish Pagan School site. And when you sign up, you'll get my Magic for Social Change toolkit for free as well, free download. So in the newsletter, there's a free tier and a paid tier. Whichever you choose, you're getting properly sourced Irish practice that you can actually do. So you're going to find it at irishpagan.school/spells, and the link is in the description below. Slán go fóill.